Great news, everyone. I've managed to switch from an old iPhone to a Google Pixel 3a XL that Google sent me. And today I'm going to tell you what that experience was like and how the move from iPhone or iOS to Android can really impact your smart home. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to take the frustration out of automation by giving you that real smart home perspective on the switch from iOS to Android and how this device, this Pixel 3a XL, has really changed how I approach my smart home already. Now I'll give you some of the basics. It's a 6.3-inch display on a smartphone. It has a fingerprint reader on the back, and it has the vaunted camera capabilities of the Pixel 3a XL here. Now, this is the phone that was released relatively recently. It's not the Pixel 4, so it's not the newest version, but this is the budget option for the Pixel series really at the moment. So let's start with the setup process. Now, what actually happened was Google gave us a cable and an adapter that went right into an iPhone, and it allowed you to literally transfer a number of things like your contacts. If you wanted your photos and your multimedia, you could really transfer just about everything across. Now, they told me to do things like turn off iMessage over here, and I didn't even do that, and still my messages, my contacts, really everything I wanted came across. What didn't come across, you know what, I still set up my emails independently, and really some of the applications, they didn't come across because I stopped the process towards the end. I just didn't want some of the applications. And the other thing is lots of the settings didn't come across, so I had to go and re-log in. But that was it. The whole process was done in about a half an hour, and then apps sat there and downloaded for another hour or so. After that initial setup, the very first thing I wanted to do was start utilizing the camera. And what I think has happened a little bit with smartphones is that the cameras have become so good that you actually have to learn. And day one, as I utilized this, the camera, the pictures I was taking and the video I was taking is not as good as what I'm taking today. And we're a couple weeks in at this point that I've been able to kind of demo this unit. And what I'll say is I've gotten better and better, and I've learned more about how the camera works, and it's become better and better at taking photos, and now I'm really happy with the camera on this device. The next thing I wanted to do was challenge the smart home, and I've been living with Siri, which is barely living with a voice assistant at all, for a long time now. I mean, I have had 3 iPhones in a row, and while I've had, Android tablets, there's a whole difference between walking around with the ability to squeeze your device and have the Google Assistant come up. That is a major differential when we're talking about working within your smart home. And what that has done instantly is had me change the interface, change how I live in terms of opening applications, asking for the weather, asking for news, asking for information in general. I open my smart apps by asking the Google Assistant at this point. I also ask the Google Assistant to control my smart home more often by just squeezing the phone and barking out a command. So that has totally changed the way I utilize a smartphone entirely. The other thing that it's given me instant access to are widgets. And I've had a tablet for a long time here with Android on it, but there's a big differential to being able to just create a little interface or a little screen for yourself here for all of your automation routines or all of your automation shortcuts. So what that did for me was it eliminated my concern about losing HomeKit and shortcuts, because really I was instantly replacing that with widgets and with things like Tasker or with NFC, which I instantly have access to here. So this has been extremely powerful in terms of replacing HomeKit, and I'm already not missing HomeKit. Now back to that Google Assistant, because there's something extra powerful about the way that it is working now. And this isn't even the new Google Assistant, which we will see throughout the Pixel 3a, the 3, and the 4, where it's going to be extremely quick. This thing is already really quick because I can roll through things like what movies are playing today, what time are they at? Buy me tickets or take me to the page to buy tickets. And I get those kinds of suggestions in the other applications as I'm within kind of a messaging application. I get a suggestion to actually send showtimes about a movie that I might have messaged about. So you're getting those kinds of suggestions, things like weather, and they're showing up in different applications. I'm also creating calendar events like it's going out of style through this phone. So it's changed again how I'm utilizing the Google Assistant and now my Google Home product. Android is also extremely powerful when it comes to dealing with multiple messaging applications. Not only do I have certain applications where the person's face shows up here on my screen, but I also have the ability to reply instantaneously without ever going into an application. And this is across multiples. I mean, I deal with fans and subscribers on Twitter, on Facebook. I deal with emails all the time. I can answer them immediately if I'd like with this interface. I have messages from friends and family. So it is all over the place. Oh, and I communicate with my team on WhatsApp. So I'm all over the place, but this phone makes it look like I'm not. It makes it feel like I'm not, and I really don't care where people are messaging me from now. The battery life is nothing short of impressive and definitely an upgrade from this. Even though I have a new battery in this drains much faster. I will be lucky to get a day out of this phone, whereas I'm easily getting a day and up to a day and a half to 2 if I don't use it as much. So I'm not spending time tethered to a charger, and I really love that. Now, I don't get a wireless component with the 3A. That's one of the downgrades from kind of a Pixel 4 or a Pixel 3. You don't have the wireless charging option, but that's not a big deal. The other things I do like, I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to like this fingerprint sensor, but I really do like it. It's been reliable and much better than the fingerprint recognition on any iPhone I've used. The other thing is, and I mean, I think you're going to hear this. Well, maybe you didn't hear it, but this is so much lighter than my iPhone. It's incredible. And I even tested some of the newer ones to see how big of a differential there is, but man, is this a light phone. I almost don't feel it in my pocket. On top of that, the screen has been great. I really love the look and the feel, and I was able to go out and get inexpensive screen protectors from Best Buy and a really inexpensive case here that I got a lot of suggestions on Twitter about. So thank you to those of you who gave me that. Everyone loves the camera, and like I said, it takes you some time to work through. But what I find with the video component of that camera is a little bit different than I think maybe most people will tell you about. What I'm finding is if a target moves quickly or there's a major change on screen, the video jumps, and so I can have little jumps in my videos 20-30 seconds in anywhere actually in the video, and this bothers me. I haven't been able to correct this, and what I think is happening is that the processor is not able to handle the software behind kind of all of the processing that they're trying to do, because these are very processed images. When you take a video or you take a picture, what you see is the original picture, and then a couple seconds later the phone actually processes it and you get a new version of that that looks much better almost in every case. But in the case of the video component, you never get those frames back. They are gone. So I'm not in love with that. While everything else about this device has saved me a lot of time, the customization of the OS is going to take you some time, and it took me some time to kind of figure out everything I wanted, and this is a plus and a minus. So I love the ability to choose which notifications I'm getting. I love the ability to really get down into the details, but you will have to decide if that's something you want to go into. This is kind of the basis of iPhone versus Android. This just works. This takes some playing with, and I don't mind, but you might. Other than that, guys, the experience has been excellent. I'm loving this phone, and it is definitely instantly my daily driver. The changes in my smart home are massive, and this is a really budget conscious phone. So the 3A and the 3XL I think are great budget options, because in a lot of cases I'm not sure it's worth it to jump up to that next level of smartphone. So this is a great option, I think, from me here at Automate Your Life. I love this, and I am totally recommending this, especially if you're someone who's already utilizing a lot of Google products. So now stick around with the channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to find out a little bit more about iOS versus Android, I actually did a series earlier this year that told you which way I was eventually heading. And it will compare some of the things that you're going to love about iOS versus Android. So go check out that series of videos. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. And of course, don't hate, automate.